Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to the maze. It's been a while since we've recorded. Life gets in the way, and the apprentice has been very busy.
Mm-hmm.
But we are back, and we are here to record a MazeCast number 10. We've been around for a minute, um, and we want to welcome you all back here, and we appreciate you joining us and watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit
Mm-hmm.
that like button, and if you would, go ahead and click on the notifications and
Mm-hmm.
share the podcast with your friends. Let
It
people know
helps.
that we're
It
out here.
helps. It's
It
not just a
definitely
thing, it's not just us trying to keep lights on. It actually does help.
it does.
So.
It does, and it'll keep inspiring us to continue doing this. And we appreciate your support,
Mm-hmm.
of course. So starting off, a little more somber note tonight. I want to say farewell to our friend Daniel Estes.
Mm-hmm.
We found out Daniel passed away. He lost his battle with cancer on September 24th of this year. His birthday is coming up on October 6th, so
Mm-hmm.
we are going to miss him. He was a very positive, upbeat influence in the community and online as content creator. His Instagram account was Return to Brookmere, which, as many of you know, his mother, Rose Estes, was the author of the Endless Quest books back in the 80s. She worked for TSR. And his favorite book was Return to Brookmere. So he took that moniker for his online content, and we got a chance to work with him. I got to know him before he really started doing much with the account, but he and I have been friends for about going on 4 years now. He befriended Steven,
Mm-hmm.
just an all around great guy, and he is going to be missed. So, Daniel, wherever you are, we love you. We
Mm-hmm.
miss you. And the next time we're at the table, we'll roll some dice for you, my friend.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, he's a big part of
uh,
what got. I mean, this project started for a bunch of reasons, but his early. I mean, he was the first voice outside of the two of us that were like, "This is what you guys are doing is cool. Y'all should keep doing it." Because early on it was hard. I mean, we were still figuring out what we wanted to do and how we wanted to reach people. And I mean, I work in the IT field, but I didn't have any experience of video editing or social media. I'm not even on social media. So,
perfect.
but he was the one that was like, y'all should just do it. Just do it. Just go out there and do it. And was always a huge, a supporter of the project. So we'll miss him.
Always positive, always upbeat.
Yep.
No matter how hard his battle was, he always had a kind word and a smile, and that's the way we're going to remember him.
Yep.
So, if you would, if you knew Daniel, leave us some comments in the comment box. Just let us know you're thinking about him, and let us know how he touched you. We would appreciate it, and I know Daniel and his mother Rose, who he left behind, would appreciate it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, on more of a news front, let's get into some RPG news. Starbreeze. I have never heard of these folks, but I was perusing the RPG news this week, and on Thursday, Starbreeze announced that Project Baxter, which was their code name for a D&D online MMORPG, which was going to be cooperative play, which apparently got announced back in 2023 and was supposed to premiere in 2026. It's been canceled. So they announced that on Thursday, the 2nd of October. They are going to move resources and people and all over to their own game. And I guess this is another D&D online presence that's going to die on the vine. But sad to hear, because as I got to reading more about what they were planning, it sounded like it was going to be a great game. But
Mm-hmm.
hopefully somebody will pick it up and do something with it. I think Hasbro and WotC are missing a heck of an opportunity if they don't. So
Yeah, it's a shame. It seems like it's just like miss after miss when it comes to the license being on anything other than tabletop. I don't know.
it
I don't
really
know.
was.
It's just like a curse. I don't know. The only game that comes to mind, it's a very old MMO now. Obviously, Dungeons and Dragons Online is a thing, but there is another MMO set in that in the D&D setting called Neverwinter, named
Right,
after
right,
the obvious reason.
right.
And I still visit that game once every year or two. It's got a really fun combat system. The max
Mhm.
level is 20. It takes a lot of inspiration from tabletop, and it's really fun. I remember playing a couple years back when they added the Bard as a playable class,
Right.
and just like like that game is very mediocre when it comes to a lot of things, but it does some things so well. And the Bard class you could go into what was called performance mode, and you
Right.
could literally play like your lute or your like whatever instrument you chose, and you like
Right.
your computer keys became the notes. So like
Wow.
there were
Okay.
people like playing like Inner Sandman as a bard in the middle of Neverwinter. It's like it's just it was such a it's a fun game, and it is sad that it seems like that game and D&D Online both are like very long in the tooth games that are just antiquated. And
Yeah.
I don't understand why it seems like they just can't get it together and make another one. Who
You
knows?
know, after the massive home run they got with Baldur's Gate,
Yeah, thanks
people
to
were
Larian for
excited.
that one.
Yeah, I mean, they thought that there would be all kinds of, you know, spin-offs. There would be patches for it. There would be
Yeah.
add-ons, or that Larian Studios was going to do something next. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a Baldur's Gate 4, or maybe we go to Waterdeep,
Yeah.
and they basically got told they got shown the door by Watson.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, Larian wanted to. I mean, the Baldur's Gate 3 was the biggest game they had ever made, and got. I mean, they were already fairly well known with Divinity, but when Baldur's Gate 3 came out, they got like they were on the same level as some of the big developers everyone knows. They kind of came out of obscurity, or like only nerd culture knew about them, to like they were on the news.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, they were they did do updates, and they did things that they were planning, but they had a bunch of like they were talking about whole new campaigns, as expansions, and all this stuff. They had
yeah.
years and years of content, and WotC was like, for BG4, we're going to go in a different direction, and they hired a completely new team, and we're like, bye, and it's like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah. My theory is that they're going to go more in a direction of like a Warhammer, because their president and their vice president have all talked about the franchise model. They want to
Right.
do a franchise model. So I'm afraid it's going to become a pay to play type of system is what we're going to see next. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
like Warhammer, where you want this skin, you got to buy it. You want this weapon, you got to buy it.
Yep.
And I don't know. That's not for me, so I won't participate. But I'm sure there's
Mm-hmm.
some out there that will. But moving on, Critical Role has announced their Mighty Nine animated series will be coming out to Amazon. That is going to debut in November. I am. I watched the first season or two of Critical Role online, just like everybody did during COVID and all. But I enjoyed it. I fell off the beginning of season three. It just wasn't. I just wasn't clicking with the characters, and I haven't been back since. But I am a fan of the animated series, so I will definitely check that out. Anything that's animated online for Dungeons and Dragons, I am down for it. So I will definitely be checking that out when it comes out on Amazon at the end of the year. So also in RPG news, Nerdburger, Craig Campbell with Nerdburger Games has announced he's making a space pirates game, and it's going to be called Cosmic Corsairs RPG. So it sounds like it may be something to rival or along the lines of like a Starfinder from our good friends over at Paizo. But this sounds like it's going to be almost like Pirates in Space and maybe like Age of Space Piracy. I don't know. It sounds interesting. So we will have a link for that article in our show notes. So check that out. Sounds like it's going to be an interesting game to keep an eye on. So we'll talk more about that as we find out more. Um, Going into our Kickstarter shout out, I stumbled across this on Facebook this past week, and I got excited and went straight over to Kickstarter and immediately backed it. There is a Kickstarter right now for a Gary Gygax memorial game table monument to be built in his hometown of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It will be a bronze recreation of a gaming table. There will be stone benches on either side of the table where you can sit and get your photo taken, and there will be a recreation of Gary's famous Dungeon Master chair with Gary's statue sitting in it at the table with his books and all spread about him. It looks like it's going to be an amazing monument, so I had to back it. I mean, the guy has made such an impact on my life with his game. How could I not back it? And at some point, I guess now I will be even more inspired to go to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, to kind of visit the home of Gary Gygax and now this monument. So we'll have a link for the Kickstarter in our show notes. It's got about 21 more days, so plenty of time to back it if you're interested. But go check it out and let us know what you think. After that, we're going into Halloween season. I spent the day today before it started pouring down rain getting my Halloween decorations up. including my graveyard, my ghosts, my ghouls, my goblins, my pumpkins, skulls, and all of that things. So, with that in mind, over on Instagram, if you're checking out our Instagram account, Master of Mazes on IG, we are doing a 31 days of D&D monsters right now. So basically, every day we're posting a monster, kind of talking about why that monster is probably not being played properly at your table and why it suits a Halloween theme. And then trying to get some engagement with people, just trying to find out, as a player, what are your memories of running into this particular monster? If you're a DM, how did you use it effectively for your party? So check that out over on Instagram. But we do want to talk about some of the ghosts and ghouls that I personally like for a horror themed game. Right now, I am running a horror themed game as a paid DM for some friends, and I decided to come up with a pumpkin theme for it because their young son is playing with us, so I couldn't keep it so terrifying and horrific with it. But for me personally, I think the five monsters that are great Halloween themed monsters for any game table are the ghost, because of its incorporeal movement, where it can move through solid objects so you can't get away from it. The fact that that creature can possess members of your party and turn them against the party, or just hop along for a ride and you don't even know the ghost is there. Which I did use pretty effectively at my table for an entire session one night where somebody had a ghost tagging along and the party was not aware of it. Also, the Banshee. Banshee to me is terrifying because for a low CR creature, it has the ability to detect life within 5 miles. So you cannot sneak up on this creature. You cannot get anywhere near its lair without it knowing you're coming. And then it's Banshee Whale. Anybody within 30 feet of the creature that hears that wail has to make a save constitution wise. And if they fail, they are dropped immediately to 0 hit points, regardless of how many hit points you have. So this creature could effectively wipe out a party, especially a lower level party, pretty easily.
Yeah,
So definitely something
both of those are incredibly OP.
incredibly OP if done correctly, yes.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't ever want to have more than one of them at a table at one time. Then you've got the werewolf. People sleep on the werewolf. Oh, all I need is a silver weapon. Werewolves are cunning and they are pack hunters. So you don't normally encounter one werewolf alone. Don't think universal monster werewolf, where it's just one guy out there and you can beat him down with a cane. Werewolves travel in packs, and if there are several of them, they get pack tactics. So it
Mm-hmm.
can they can decimate a party if you're not careful. And if you don't have magical weapons or the right type of tools, they can hurt you.
Yeah.
I also like the Wraith. I like the Wraith for its life draining ability. That's something to me from first edition. When a Wraith hits you, they took away levels. So you would lose experience levels. If you were fifth level, get hit by a Wraith, you're now fourth level.
Hmm.
And you start over.
Would
So,
you so like let's say you had a spell at fifth level and you got hit by a wraith? Would you lose that spell and go when you go back to
yes.
fourth level? Oh,
Yes.
that sucks.
You lose the experience, you lose the hit points, you lose everything that goes with that level back in
Whoa.
first edition. That's why when you ran into one of these things, you would normally try to stay at a distance and not get anywhere near it.
Yeah.
I mean, your sword and board guys, I
Mm.
mean, God help them if they had to go up and fight it toe to toe.
Call the Witcher.
But
Get out of
yeah,
there. Call the Witcher.
yeah. Now it's they drain life away. Now if they hit you successfully and drop you to 0 hit points or zero constitution, they take away your constitution. If you get down to 0 constitution, you die and you come back the next day as a wraith under the control of the wraith that took you out.
Huh.
So that can be scary. And then we have the mummy. You don't see mummies very much in D&D, just because everybody automatically associates them with an Egyptian theme. But our friends over at Kingdom of Keshinar, a little plug for them here, they did do an entire D&D 5e theme for Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
called Keshinar, and I'm pretty excited about that. So we will see mummies there. But mummies with their mummy rots and their ability to just, I mean, they can devastate you. They're powerful when they hit you,
Mm.
and that mummy rot that they can infect you with is terrifying. So great creatures to have at your table. Don't just think of them as Egyptian mummies. You can have
Nah.
mummies in any tomb. Grey Hawk, Kryn, anywhere. Faerun, you can have a mummy. Just it doesn't have to be Egyptian thing.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you think about it, like people have been wrapping their dead up for different reasons, ritualistic reasons, everywhere across the globe. I mean, Egypt is obviously known mostly because of pop culture and stuff. But
yeah,
if you like, a cool setting would be like maybe you stumble upon a village that was hit by a plague, and the
yeah,
villagers were like to try to keep the contain the plague, they would wrap the dead up in wrappings,
yeah,
And like, let's say a necromancer goes to the town and starts raising these people, and they look like mummies. They're basically mummies.
Mummies,
So
yeah.
I mean, there you go. You don't have to be in Egypt. Just have a little creativity and throw a
Well,
wrench in
creativity.
there.
And that's the
Easy
beauty of
work.
D&D.
Yep.
That's the beauty of D&D. If you got a little creativity, you can make anything work pretty much
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. So,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Banshee, everybody thinks Banshee, they think Celtic or Gaelic myth.
Mm-hmm.
No, Banshee just has to be a woman whose soul is bound to this plane because of some terrible wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, her lover killed her, or her husband ran off and left her and she died, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a haunting. It's just a special haunting. So you can work them into any game. Um, so after that, we'd like to talk a little bit about our favorite Halloween movies. I talked to the apprentice the other day about Stakeland, Stake,
Mm-hmm.
Stakeland. It's a vampire movie, which I think is a great movie for you to watch if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix right now, and I believe it streams every once in a while. Some of the horror channels pick it up, like Scream TV
Like
picks it up.
Shutter and stuff.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. Think zombie apocalypse, but instead of zombies, it's vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think vampires like John Carpenter's vampires. These are vampires that are basically just totally feral, given to their hunger, but they're virulent. I mean, they bite you, you become a vampire, and the plague spreads fast, just like it does with zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically humanity trying to survive after a vampire plague sweeps the country and then the entire world. So it's a great, great movie. Low budget, decent effects for the budget it was on, but it's a really well written movie. So I highly recommend that one. My other movie recommend for Halloween, I've got to go with John Carpenter's Halloween. First
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, you can't go wrong with Jamie Lee Curtis playing Laurie Strode, and that's to me was the first slasher movie I ever saw when I was younger. And every Halloween season, I have to watch Halloween and Halloween 2
Mm-hmm.
every year because to me they are just classics.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think Halloween's always on the list. I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first slasher. If it wasn't, it was up. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then Halloween.
mhm.
Either way, it was an early one. It set the tone in so many different ways. I mean, every horror movie, including Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and My Bloody Valentine, all that stuff, it took cues from
Mhm.
Halloween. I mean, they invented the slasher genre in that
Yeah.
way. The even the theme song. I mean, people that don't even like horror movies know the theme song.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Halloween 2 is great. I'm actually so Halloween 3. A lot of people hate because they didn't have Michael Myers in it, but at the time
Mhm.
they were experimenting with doing an anthology. Every Halloween they were going to
Right.
release a new Halloween movie, and it wouldn't
Mhm.
necessarily tie into the Myers stuff, but everyone hated it, and they went back to Michael Myers at Halloween 4, which I did a blog post about on our site. The intro to that movie is like a nostalgia trip. It is so cool.
Yeah.
Halloween 4's intro is just great.
It is great, and I didn't care. I'm one of those people that didn't care for Halloween 3 Season
Season
of
of
the
the Witch.
Witch
Yeah, it's just
because it when it first came out. I remember when the marketing campaign started for it back in the day.
mhm,
And it's like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I'm like, holy cow, they're gonna tie it in. Michael Myers can't die because he's been brought back by a witch.
mhm.
And no Michael Myers. No,
Yeah.
we're not in.
Well,
We're not even in the town.
what's
It has
funny is
nothing to do with him.
they in the later sequels that are lesser favored by people, they did tie in like a witch ritual thing that's
Yes.
why he was invincible. But
Yeah.
yeah, Season of the Witch was the haunted mask stuff, and I thought it was fun. I mean, if you watch it now and it's not a Michael Myers movie, and you go back and
Right.
watch it now, it's actually legit. It's pretty good.
Yeah. On its own merits, it's a good movie.
They should have
It
called
it's
it
a
Season of
decent
the
yeah.
Witch, a Halloween story. Is what they should have. In my
Yes.
opinion, they should have if the marketing
100%.
was different, people would have been fine. Um,
Right.
but they wanted people to buy tickets, assuming Michael Myers was in
It's
it.
the
I mean,
Michael
they're
Myers
not
movie. Yeah.
stupid.
They're
So
not. But
Halloween's up
it's,
there.
it's a shame because it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's legit. I actually like it a lot. Dad was talking about Stakeland. I like Blood Red Sky a lot, which is a really
Oh,
fun
it's
vampire movie. Came out like 2 3 years ago, like really under the radar. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was great. Really cool ending. Just a the whole plot that they did was awesome. And then I brought it up, but I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I know a lot of people
Yeah.
hear that and think there's no way I'm watching that. It's too bloody. It's too this. It's too that. I actually just watched the first one again like a week ago.
The original or the remake?
Of course, the original. And
Okay.
if you watch the original, you only see two people get hit by. One of them gets hit by a mallet on the side of their
Yep.
head, and
Yep.
it wasn't even hard. It was literally like they bumped into her with it, and she didn't even get knocked out. And
Right.
then the other one is a guy gets hit with the end of a broom handle. That is
Right.
the extent of the violence you see on screen.
Right.
They just obviously there's a lot of implied violence and a lot of like
Yes.
dread and a lot of I mean just the scene of Leatherface chasing the main character, I can't remember her name in the movie, through the woods and then into
Yeah.
the grandpa's house where she runs upstairs. I love how that movie kind of turns jump scares on their head because there isn't really there's one jump scare and it's at the beginning where the guy's walking through the house looking for gas and he comes around the corner and Leatherface is standing there in the sliding door. He hits him,
Yep.
drags him in, and slams the
And it
door really
slams
hard.
the door shut. Yeah.
That scene, number one, like it's not really a jump scare because he didn't jump out. He was just standing there. So like,
Yeah.
and like
So,
the act of him slamming that door, it was just like so aggressive and just so not like
yeah.
horror movies of that time. Um,
Yeah.
and he's like the anti jump scare because you hear him coming from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
there is no jump scares. It's just scary knowing he's over there and there's nothing I can do to stop him.
I saw that movie as a
Probably way
child,
too young. probably,
way too young.
probably way too young.
My babysitter took me and my younger sister Missy to
What a
go see it
monster.
at a drive-through.
What a
Okay,
monster.
when it first came out, what a monster! He was terrible. He was the worst babysitter. But I got to see it, and I just remember the visceral, the
Oh yeah.
visceral reaction to the sound of a chainsaw
Oh
nail
yeah. Yeah.
immediately takes me back to that
Well,
movie.
you have
Like
to.
when yeah, when my wife and I go, we like to go on like haunted hay rides, and
Yep.
we like to go to like the haunted houses and stuff.
Hmm.
And of course, every single one of them inevitably will have a chainsaw,
Of course.
and it doesn't have a chain or anything like that on it. But it's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
sound of that thing
Hmm.
starting up and then revving up. You immediately, it's just this predator prey
Yeah.
reaction that when
Yeah.
you hear that chainsaw, you want to run.
And like that
So
movie is why. Like it's
that
so
is why.
and before that movie, I mean, obviously I'm like a horror nut, but really there's like these ages of horror movies in my opinion. There's like the golden age is what I call it, which is like Hammer horror, Universal monster
Yep.
horror, stuff like black and white horror movies. And that's
Yep.
from like the dawn of like the original Nosferatu, London After Midnight, all those movies that started it. And that
Mhm.
age goes to about what I think is you could argue two movies: Psycho in 1960
Right.
or 60 something,
55, I believe.
and
65.
then Texas Chainsaw was 1973,
73.
and then Halloween was 74,
Yep.
or in there somewhere, 74 or something.
76, I believe. But
Okay,
yeah.
um, so you could say like Psycho is where it started, where like horror movies kind of shifted a little bit. But
Right.
I would say if Psycho was a little shift, Texas Chainsaw was a galactic leap to
It was.
towards a new
It was.
direction. So in my
It was.
opinion, that movie started the silver age or like the slasher age of movies, and they went
Yeah.
until about I don't know early 2000s or so. Um,
Yeah.
but that movie, I mean, again, like just it was a whole different breed of movie. So it's
Yeah.
always on my
Absolutely.
list of things. And again, people always hear that and they go, "Oh, no way, no way." I promise you, it's not as bad as you think.
It's not.
It is scary, and I mean, it is scary, and it does. There's scary
Some of the
moments.
later ones,
Some
some
of
of the
the yeah,
60s were a
so
little
some of the
light.
later and honestly, I only the original is the one to do. Um,
Yes.
of course, there's tons of remakes and tons of retcons and this and that. The original is the one. I
Yeah.
would watch
Yeah.
that. I'd give it a chance if you haven't already. I think it's easily worth your time. And that does kind of lead me to my next thing I was going to say, which is a newer movie, or not a movie. It's actually a miniseries, but it just came out, and it's the miniseries on I believe it's Netflix, the Monsters series, which
Okay.
they're the ones that did the Kyle and the Menendez brothers story like last
Okay.
year,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they did the I don't know if they did Ted Bundy or they did the other guy. I can't remember now. But anyway, they keep doing these like mini series of like acted out like serial killers and stuff. Well,
Right.
this past week, the Ed Gein Butcher of Plainfield or Butcher of
Yeah.
Plainfield, which if you don't know, that's what they based Leatherface on for Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Yep.
and they just released that one like this week,
Yeah.
and I really want to see it because
And
all every one of
that's going to be
those,
a movie,
yeah,
which I'm surprised. I can't remember the actor's name, but it's the guy that played Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
yeah,
He's
Charlie
going to
Hunnam.
play Ed Gein.
That's
Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
that's the miniseries I'm talking about. He's
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
And
out on Netflix
it's on
now.
Netflix.
Yeah,
It's on
now.
Netflix. We saw it drop, and we're
Yeah,
excited about that because
and
it happened. I mean, obviously, this happened before my time. I mean, that was in the '50s was when
mm,
Ed Gein was around.
like mid
But
'50s.
I mean, you're talking about America in the '50s. Ladies wearing white gloves and
Uh
dresses
huh.
everywhere they go, and
Yeah.
guys in suits when they go leave the house. So I mean, for something like this to happen in America was almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And it's scary. I mean, because if you actually go online and read anything about the murders that Ed Gein
They were
created, the
insane.
things he did,
They were insane.
holy cow, dude! And I mean, just the trailer I've seen for this looks amazing.
Well,
So we're
the
definitely got
the
it in our queue.
there was a clip of because well again he was so well obviously evil, but that whole series of events inspired. I don't know how many people know this, but it actually inspired Psycho too.
Right.
The guy that was writing the character Norman Bates for the
Hmm.
book Psycho, he wrote the book and was Ed Gein got caught during that real life Like he was writing the book while that guy got caught in real life.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he actually went. He went to the area and was asking detectives and stuff for info about it. And a lot of the whole Norman Bates being obsessed with his mom and having that whole weird dichotomy there is from the
Yeah.
real Ed Gein story, where he was like his
Wow.
mother was like this religious zealot, and she told him women were evil and he should stay home and not be a part of the world, and that's why he was like, infatuated with his mom, all that weird shit.
Yeah.
It's directly tied to that. So that case started, Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and God knows what else. I mean, it's just
Wow.
it's huge. So anyway, that just came out. Something fun to watch, or maybe not fun, but terrifying to watch during
Well, if you're in horror,
yeah,
there you go.
during the Halloween season. That's
Um,
probably a good one.
if you like horror, but you like a lighter-hearted, tongue-in-cheek,
I
um,
already know what you're gonna say.
you know what I'm gonna say, a
Tucker and Dale
comedic.
versus Evil.
Well, that one's really good too. I
It's
like Tucker
awesome.
Dale versus
It's
Evil.
awesome.
That one's awesome. That one's awesome in a kind of Evil Dead sort of
It
way,
is, yeah.
but with more comedy. Think Three Stooges meet
It's
Evil Dead.
it's
Like,
so good. Alan Tudyk is
well,
amazing in that movie.
that one is, oh, Alan Tudyk is amazing. But one that I just posted about on Instagram last week is called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls.
Oh
That one
Lord.
is actually out on Amazon right now. And my wife and I have watched it twice, and we never fail to laugh and enjoy that every time we see it. Um, very not it didn't have a very big budget, and it's basically a bunch of friends and stuff that got together to make this movie. But it's an incredible movie. It's got an homage to Meatloaf singing "I Would Do Anything for Love,"
That's awesome.
and it's awesome. If you get a chance, it's on Amazon. It doesn't cost you a dime to watch it. Give it a look. That is a kind of a fun kind of a horror light kind of
Mhm.
movie for the holiday season. So,
Mhm. Awesome.
um, other than that, let's jump into some video games. Steven, what are you playing right
Sheesh. A whole lot of nothing.
now?
I've been pretty busy. I know the new season of Diablo just dropped about a week or so ago. I haven't been
I
able to
haven't
touch
played.
it. But
No, we need to get
I'm
that
hoping
on
to get
there.
to play it. I do have some news though. And
Okay.
I don't think I've talked about this. But
Okay.
through the grapevine I've seen, heard, I think a teaser trailer came out.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know if you know this, but the Friday the 13th license is kind of in this like void right
Limbo.
now
Yeah.
because I don't really know what changed, but someone, I don't know if it's different, has it or whatever, but they basically took over the license or have just decided to be very, very strict with who can touch the license.
Right.
And there was a fun, it was a fun asymmetrical horror game for Friday the 13th was out where one player was Jason. There was like 8 camp counselors and they were trying to get out.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of games like that. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre version of that same formula as well. Um, and there's Dead by Daylight, which is the big one, where like there's
Right.
survivors and there's a bunch of different killers. Which I might play that game and do a write up about it for the site because apparently since I've played, they've added Hellraiser, the
Okay.
Alien Xenomorph,
Okay.
Chucky the Doll,
Huh.
um, like just all kinds of people that I just like saw that they were in the game now and was like, what the hell? But anyway, the people that were making the Friday the 13th game, the game was fairly popular when it came out and like has slowly kind of just dwindled. And I thought they were just not doing well, but it turns out they were getting more and more fight back from the licensee. They were like, "Hey, don't put that in the game. We don't want that costume in the game. We don't want this in the game. We don't want you to depict this in the game." So they were just like they were getting less and less to work with until
Hmm.
they just gave up. They were like, "We can't do this anymore. Like our game's being held hostage by these people. They're asking for more money. They want this. They want that." So they gave up, and I was really sad
Right.
because that game was fun. But apparently, the people that own the Halloween license, which I don't know who it is, just gave them the license and said, "Why don't you make that game, but in the Halloween universe? And why don't you go ahead and do that? We won't. You could basically, as long as it's canon, as long as you don't get insane with it, you can make the very same formula in our universe." So they dropped the announcement trailer, and it's literally just a house in Haddonfield with the music, and Michael Myers walks out, and it's in engine. They're already working on the game.
That's
So
awesome.
that's very cool. I don't. It's really weird. I mean, I've always been more of a Halloween guy than I'm not a huge Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street guy. I think
Right.
both of those franchises capped like on their second movie. I think Friday the 13th one and
Yeah.
two were the best two. I think
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street one and Dream Warriors were the best two, and that's it.
Right.
So whatever. I'm glad Halloween's getting a game. He's Michael Myers is obviously a character in Dead by Daylight, but he's getting his own game. Um, so it looks really cool. I'm glad that that studio got a second chance, and again, the Friday the 13th game was good. The mechanics were
Mhm.
fun. The kills were insane. That's one thing that game did better than Dead by Daylight. Just the kills, like it's a Friday the 13th game, so they went way over the top.
Right.
So I hope they get to do kind of the same thing. So excited to see what they do there.
Okay. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
Hmm.
I haven't really had a lot of time for games recently either. I'm playing a little bit of the Division, the most
Incredible,
recent one.
incredible
Yeah,
game.
it's a very fun game. So I've had a lot of fun with that recently when I've had some time to play. Because Steven has the apprentice has not been online very much, so we
Hmm.
haven't been able to play Diablo. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks we will. But
Hmm.
other than that, any books that you're looking at, Steven, or anything you want to read?
Nothing major. I did pick up the. We were just on vacation this past week, and they're at this little inn we stay at. This little coastal town we like to visit, which is like an hour and a half away. They have like a little library that's stocked by the innkeeper there, and
Hmm.
it's like a take a penny leave a penny system where you can bring a book, and then if you take it with you, they want you to leave one. So like you can kind
Right.
of get books from like other travelers that have gone. It's such a cool spot. Um,
Hmm.
but I picked up. I've never read the Jack Reacher books. I've only ever seen the movies and the show. The
Right.
show is fantastic.
It was
But
fantastic.
I was reading the book and liked it so much that I didn't take it with me, but I did order it. And I'm hoping to finish it soon. But it's an awesome book. I'm sure most people probably read all the Jack Reacher books. There's like 33 of them, but I just started reaching. That's the only ones I've just started reading. I haven't read much else other than that.
Yeah, for me, reading right now, I've got a bunch of things on my shelf, but it looks like the next thing I'll be reading is Daggerheart, the RPG book, and going through the rules and familiarize myself with that. So that'll probably take up the majority of my free time to read. Um, but nothing really on my radar right now. But if any of you out there listening or watching have some good recommendations for books,
I
leave
could
them in the comments portion. We
I
would
could
love to hear your recommendations.
I could hold up some cool books that are on my bookshelf right next to me.
Well, there you go. Hold them up. Let's see what you got.
Let's
Show us one or two.
see. Let's see. Well, these are probably like D&D fans probably know all about these. But Brandon Sanderson, his Mistborn series is incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard about that one.
I've recommended before The Way of Kings, which is another story inside of his universe that he's built, but it's incredible. And just for this season, let's see. This is an easy recommend right there.
Dracula, yep. Yep.
Yep.
Good,
So
good
that's
read.
an easy recommend there. But
Good read.
I've got all
You
kinds of
know,
books that I never find time for right here. So
and, and I don't normally talk about movies outside of the originals. I'm a big fan of originals. Most of the time, remakes do not do
mm,
justice. But when you bring up Dracula, I have to recommend Frank Langella as Dracula, the remake. An amazing remake. I think it was in 73 or 74,
mm-hmm.
where they redo the original Bram Stoker's Dracula, and they do it kind of uh, updated obviously for the 70s, but Frank Langella as Dracula is amazing. To me, he was a great successor to Christopher Lee. I think Frank should have gone over and done some Hammer films because he reminds me a lot in his portrayal of Dracula of Christopher Lee. So if you haven't seen Frank Langella as Dracula, you should definitely check that one out.
Hmm.
Um, that's about it for us this week. Steven, anything interesting you have planned for the holidays? I mean, you're in
Uh,
a new town,
yeah.
so that should be interesting for the Halloween season.
Yeah. Where we live now, it's like a really fun little town on a river. It's a small town. And they closed down their main street and they do like a trunk or treat for all the kids.
Okay.
Which incidentally, that's a lot like the last town I was in, which was about 30 minutes west of here. But I think it's going to be that. I think it's just going to be hanging out on the main street. All the businesses closed down and hand out candy, and it'll be fun. It'll be a fun little Halloween for us here.
Yeah, we will probably do. I'm actually taking Halloween off this year. We go on a cruise down to the Mediterranean, not the Mediterranean, I'm sorry, the Caribbean, the first week of November. But I decided to take Halloween off because last year I was alone for Halloween. The wife was out of town and I was here. And I was outside handing out candy probably for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I was dressed in my Master of Mazes outfit, which a lot of people mistook for a Nazgul, but that's fine, whatever.
It's close.
Had a great time with it, and got to hand out a lot of candy. So we will probably do the same thing this year. Just sit out there with a couple of lawn chairs, hand out candy, and look at all the little costumes, and have a great time with it because that's what it's
Halloween's on
all
a
about.
Friday this year, right?
It is on a Friday this year,
That's
so
cool.
yeah, I took that off so that I can relax and have a great time with the kids and get prepped for it. So I got the decorations up today, but I'd like to add a few more things before Halloween gets here. So, but that if you don't have anything else, Stephen, that's all I had for this week.
I'm good.
Um, so we will bid you all a good night. We thank you for joining us. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button,
Mm-hmm.
share the podcast with your friends, let them know we're out here. We'd love to have some more people jump in here, get some engagement going in the comments, and let us know what you think about what we said. If you agree
Mm-hmm.
with us, if you don't agree with us, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. But we will bid you adieu until we see you next time back here in the maze. Good night.